Welcome back to PSL Living. I'm Sarah Prohaska, Communications Manager here at the City of Port St. Lucie. We're going to shift gears now and talk about something completely different than holiday lights. We are going to talk about a wonderful new program, a partnership between many of our local agencies in St. Lucie County, but spearheaded by the Oxbow Eco Center. It's called the St. Lucie Water Champions Program. And I have two of the wonderful organizers of this program who are joining me today, Sandy and Ren. Sandy's from the Oxbow, Ren, yes. St. Lucie County. You're both from St. Lucie County.
Right, yes, and I'm at the Oxbow as well.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. All right, so whoever wants to start, just let us know what the St. Lucie Water Champions Program is, how it came about, why it's important.
So the St. Lucie Water Champions Program, it's an initiative of the Oxbow Eco Center, and it's designed to bring diverse people and organizations together to become champions for our waterways. So in the last several years, we've all awakened to how fragile our Indian River Lagoon can be, how quickly it can degrade to a state that might make us sick. But I think a lot of people are left feeling helpless as to what they can do, or what are they doing to contribute, and what can they do differently. And so there are a lot of organizations here in St. Lucie County, and we have some very forward-thinking cities and county government people that are all working to do some amazing things by involving citizens in volunteer projects, or doing educational projects, as well as doing giant stormwater projects. And so the idea behind this project is that we will bubble that information to the surface so it becomes part of our everyday language.
Great.
Right.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, because there's so many different things people can do.
Yes.
It's nice to have it all in one location, to find out about them all.
Right.
Right, and there's so much going on, like Sandy says, so many organizations are doing so many things, and so we want to help just get that information out. Who's doing what are the opportunities out there to learn more and get involved as well.
Yeah, wonderful. So one of the big things that's happening right now, it's being spearheaded by the Oxbow, is the Florida, For the Love of Florida lecture series.
Yes.
So, and that's part of this program too. So
it is.
If you wouldn't mind telling us a little bit about that.
Well, Ren knows that's close to my heart. So For the Love of Florida, it's a speaker series, and we were able to get a grant for both of these programs.
Okay,
but
wonderful.
the speaker series is part of Florida Humanities Council grant, and it allows you to bring in some high-level expert speakers. And so it's a series of 7 speakers that kicked off in January, but there's a couple in February, 3 in March. So even if people didn't catch the first one, which was amazing, they have an opportunity. But the whole idea is for those who are newcomers to our area, it gives them a chance to understand like the people and the places, like some real storytelling in there that influence what we like to call the real Florida.
Yes.
And then it goes through some environmental heroes and the water stories, and it's all tied together with a talk on, it's actually called Through the Eyes of Roosevelt, FDR, the essential role of government and an ethic of public service. So that is a series of lectures where people can just get a whole lot of information. And then Ren is spearheading a series of Water Champion training courses. So for those people who want to dive in deep and really
learn.
Yes.
And, okay. So what's happening at the training courses? So
we're designing the training courses now, and we're trying to help people figure out what can they do, what can they personally do at their home, in their yard.
So this is just for the average resident.
Yes.
You don't have to have a science degree.
No,
you don't have to be in the water of biology and all. It's for the average resident.
Right. And we'd like to see as many different kinds of people come, right?
Yeah.
And the idea is that we want to have them understand what are the issues.
Okay.
What's the science behind the issues without going, too over your head crazy with the science, but just so everybody has a basic understanding, and then cover the, the ecological processes of the lagoon and of watersheds and why these issues occur and what we can each do, to help alleviate that and find solutions. So the program will end on a positive note. We would definitely want to empower people and inspire them as much as just doling out information. We really want them to leave inspired.
Inspired with things that they can, some actions they can take.
Right. You can go home right away and just implement a few small changes.
Yeah.
And we also are hoping that, some percentage of those folks that take the course are inspired to get even more involved.
Good.
And we want to sort of do a train the trainers kind of thing. We want them to welcome those folks to our team of volunteer teachers and outreach and things like that. So we'll take it to events, and we can take things to HOAs, and we can have them help us teach further Water Champions courses.
That is really good. And I just want to stop you because we haven't even mentioned this, but the best thing about all of this is there was a grant.
Yes.
So those are free,
Everything's free.
The lectures
That's
are
right.
free.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. So
Yeah.
I can hear people thinking, oh, how much do I have to pay for this training?
Right.
Absolutely
Nothing.
free.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Except their valuable time. But even if somebody wasn't that interested, not everybody is a teacher or can stand in front of a group. Just being able to talk to your neighbors and your friends better. Like, so what can I do? Well, what can you do? For those people who have a lawn, it doesn't matter whether you live right next to the Indian River Lagoon. You can live way out west. But what you do in your lawn when litter is a big problem. Microplastics has come into awareness, and the choices that you make through your purchasing power. Picking up after each other. I think it's the
And your
next
pet.
Yeah, but I think it's the next step. So, I'm a little older than both of you, and so I grew up at a time prior to the Clean Water Act when our creeks and our rivers seriously looked like the agitation mode in the washing machine.
Okay.
It was foamy, there were tires, and then the Clean Water Act came and people became aware. I think the next step is it's not good enough to just pick up after yourself. There's too many of us, and we've all been guilty of letting a little piece of, candy wrapper get away from us. It has an impact. The turtles eat it. It breaks down in the water. So I think that's the next step, is just being a little bit more. People want to do what's right.
Do something, yes.
They just don't know what.
Yeah, and they see it on the news, and they feel like they want to do something, but they think it's all these bigger projects, the Everglades restoration, all of these big picture things. But really, what's going to help is people just doing something.
Yeah, and it feels overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
It feels overwhelming because there's so much information coming at you at once.
Yeah.
And so that's what we want to do, is just break it down into simple things that you can do in your house and in your yard.
Yeah.
The other thing that happens too is a lot of times it's really easy to look at for a culprit other than yourself. And I'm just one person. How much of an impact can I be having on the lagoon? Even as a person who's aware, I'm still having a negative impact on the lagoon. So it's easy to try to blame government for overdeveloping. It's a huge issue. It is. Agriculture, it's a huge issue. Lake Okeechobee discharges. That is all true. But we also have 300,000 people living in our county. And no matter where you live in the county, every time you drive your car, you're putting soot, you're putting things in the air, there's stuff on the road, and when it rains, it goes into. So there are solutions. We did it once before. We were able to turn it around, and we can do it again. But it will take all of us. We're all in this together.
Right.
We really are.
And that just leads me to, so this is this program is a collaboration between the Oxbow spearing it, but it's a collaboration between who all is involved here.
When we wrote the grant, we got a commitment. First of all, the city of Port St. Lucie was amazing from the beginning. There was not even a hesitation. Yes, we are committing, and they've been You've been amazing. The whole team has been amazing. We had United Against Poverty commit.
Good.
We have Indian River Lagoon Biology Club students who have committed. The Conservation Alliance. We're and it's really at its infancy, right? So I'm trying to think of, there were some others, Indian River Lagoon. Oh, the health department.
Oh, St. Lucie County, of course. Yeah.
Right, the St. Lucie Health Department. It is about our health and well-being.
Yeah.
It's not about a particular animal or, it is about, as a community, everybody's health and well-being. But we definitely want to get some churches involved. And just diverse organizations, and we want everybody in on this. This isn't, I've been an environmentalist for a while, so a lot of times you're singing to the choir.
Yeah,
it's not going to be good enough.
Yeah, you need to attract some new people, and like you said, our everyday residents who,
that's right,
who don't, who can just make a difference in their own lives. Wonderful. So the speaker series has begun. But how can we? It's monthly. Did you say?
It's between now and May 1st, and it's scattered in there. Even though it's free, we are asking people to RSVP because space is always limited, right? So, and we expect some of them to fill the space, even though we have a pretty good room at the community center.
Yeah, wonderful. So it's exciting. So the website?
OxbowEco.com.
To find out.
OxbowEco.com. And there'll be you can click on the series and RSVP online.
And is that how they could also find out about the training?
Yes. There'll be a whole nother section just on the water champions.
Wonderful.
And so that first water champions training is?
Yes, the very first one, pardon me as I studied my cheat sheet. February 23rd is the first one, and then there'll be another one in May 18th. And so those are that kind of Water Champions 101 kind of thing. So yes.
Sort of a full day training.
Yes, it'll be from 9 to 3:30.
Wonderful.
At the Oxbow.
At the Oxbow. All right. And then, and you guys, other things that are kind of tied into this program are things that cities in the county are already doing, like your big Earth Day, the big Earth Day event. That's always a wonderful thing at the Oxbow. And the Port St. Lucie Beautiful has our tree giveaways and our community caring cleanup, which is in April. So there's just a lot of things that kind of are tying into this.
And there's a lot of activity out there. So we'll do some more cleanups, but we also want to do give people opportunities to be stewards and volunteer. So doing some plantings and restoration projects around a stormwater project, as well as doing a demonstration rain garden, just like in a high visibility area so people can understand ways they can.
Wonderful. So keep a lookout on the website for all of those.
All those details,
and dates and times.
All
right.
Got it.
Yeah, really appreciate it. This is a very exciting program.
It is.
How long does it go on? How long does it go?
It's never ending.
Never ending? Okay. So the grant money runs
because
out.
water is one of those vital resources that we actually need. But people can stop by the Oxbow too. They don't just have to go to the web. They can stop by the Oxbow Eco Center, which is up on St. James, across from the Publix. They can give us a call if they need any help at all. The community center is designed for people with disabilities. So we want everyone, if they have any special accommodations that they need to be able to enjoy that speaker series, if they can call the Oxbow, we will work really hard to make that happen.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank
really
you.
Appreciate you coming on to help us spread the word about this.
Thank you, Sarah.
And we look forward to the training and the next speaker series. That'll be a good one. All right.
Thank you.
All right. And we will be right back after these messages.